Adam Hayes, joined to my left by my co-host, Bob Payton. Across the table is our good friend, Ron Brumbarger. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So what's the plan of du jour this Friday? What did it look like?
This Friday is focused on launching my class, one of two courses at Taylor University this fall, Transformative Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So I'm polishing off my curriculum, getting ready to launch classes into about 3 or 4 weeks, whatever.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Same here.
It's exciting times.
But you didn't just create that out of thin air. You know, and I know this because I know you, but you've been an advocate of design thinking for a long time. So tell us, where's the founding principles of that come? How did you get involved with that? Where was the inspiration? How did you get involved with that?
With the
Design thinking.
Taylor design thinking.
Yeah, we'll get to Taylor's in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been studying problem solving and innovation for many, many years. And I've been blessed to travel the world doing it and teaching it, facilitating and helping people solve problems. So this is an incarnation of that very activity. So I've used it. I don't think about how to solve problems any other way.
Right.
Nice.
But was there an impetus that got you into it, or was it a mentor that led you to it in the first place?
Not design thinking necessarily, but creative problem solving I stumbled into when I was co-teaching an entrepreneurship MBA program at Ball State. And they kept talking about this process they were using for finding opportunities. And hey, I need to know about this. So I kind of tucked it under my belt and used it at my firm, Bitwise, for many years and taught some of my staff. We used it for all of our engagements. And one thing led to another. And then when I started Apprentice University, this was a logical progression of all of my students need to understand problem-solving processes and design thinking processes and innovation tools.
Yeah. So you've been involved directly as a business owner, entrepreneur. You've been involved in the entrepreneurship community in Indiana for a long time. Walk us back to where you knew that was going to be your path, from when you were younger and you just kind of went down this path and you are that.
I am that.
Yeah, you are that. I mean,
that's the brand, right?
Yeah. And you just really leaned into who you are and embraced it. So when did you know that and when did that start for you? And when did you learn to start just being you?
I guess in earnest, 91, 92. I got tired of being fired.
We've heard that before.
I got fired from a digital mapping firm here in town because I refused to violate copyright laws with a bunch of software installs. And then I got fired from what was True Vision, one of the early technology firms here in the city. Not fired, but told goodbye because I didn't want to move to Santa Clara. And, that was all cute, but I'm not a Santa guy. So that was, I would figure this out and start my own business. If I'm going to get fired, I'm going to be the first one to know.
Right.
So here we are.
How many years later?
3 years later, I guess. I probably started a half a dozen businesses and sold 3 or 4, or closed a few of them down, just didn't quite get out of the nest, and working on maybe a couple more.
Yeah. So what are you doing now today?
Well, most of my week is consumed with my role at Taylor as our entrepreneur in residence. I have a teaching and mentoring obligation there that I'm enjoying. It's the part that I love most about Apprentice University, which was working mano a mano with the students and teaching and facilitating learning is maybe a better way to phrase it. But I don't have to worry about clogged toilets and payroll.
Operational.
I don't have to worry about all that red tape. I don't have all that headache to deal with. I get to do the best part and leave that to somebody else that gets paid to do it. So I'm working on that. And the other part of my week is around my Team Monocles project that I kicked off. And that's assisting IMPD on a cold case. So I can't talk about the details of the case. I'm talking about my team and the work that we're doing using AI and attempting to use some very innovative problem-solving techniques that I've created as a derivative of the training that I've had for so many years to try to catch a bad guy.
Nice.
Awesome.
So, without sharing the details of the case itself, but what's I mean, maybe for the general public, methodology, right? What's the approach? What are you doing that's different than what they've done for the last 20 years?
Sure.
Right.
Well, in problem solving, step one, as Einstein said, if I had an hour to save the world, I'd spend 55 minutes defining the problem. So in problem solving, you spend all your time fact finding, and then you look at the most curious facts and you drill into those. That takes a lot of time.
Sure.
Cold case that's many years old takes a lot of work. But the technique we're using is using AI. So we're using some state-of-the-art AI tools because it doesn't forget. And we can ask it questions and it can help us with associations and relationships. So we're doing that. We're creating social network analysis graphs on the fly based on our commentaries and notes. Helps us understand who's related to whom and why and what interests they had with each other. And ultimately, hopefully, we'll be able to have it produce some insights that we didn't know about, some
Awesome.
facts that were kind of hidden and relationships that weren't obvious. Ideally, you've seen the training avatars. What's that, Synthesia or the training avatar business? You upload your training script and they read it back to you.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ideally, we'll have a synthetic avatar of as many people who are in a case at some point in the future, and we'll be able to ask them questions based on the facts of what we know.
Hmm.
Now, the good part of that is they don't fear being arrested because they don't
Right.
know any better. But it's limited to what we know.
Right.
So that's the future of where we want to be. But we're a little
So you can
ways
kind of
from
role play it with the facts that are
that. Yeah.
acquired. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Or
makes sense.
or have the synthetic versions of whomever speaking to one another,
Right.
talking about situations and relationships. We're
Yeah.
not far from that. We're not far from
Sure.
that. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So you've had Team Monocles before on another project. Is that right?
Yeah, I actually started this same case a year and a half ago at Apprentice University, and I had 4 students helping me on it, and we were knocking it down. But it's springtime, summertime, nobody wants to be, sequestered
Sure.
away reading files and stuff in the middle of summer. This is really hard. And then when I exited Apprentice last summer, I had to go to my friends at IMPD and say, "Hey guys, I'm really sorry. I got to close this thing down." And they understood. And they came back in March of this year, and so, you try not to tell your friends no.
Right.
Everything you can to stay at yes. They came back and said, "Would you be willing to try this case on again, build a new team, and see where you can take it?" And so I very cautiously selected 7 volunteers with job descriptions and their roles in mind. And it is an incredible. You never want to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
I never have to worry about that with this team. That is never of a concern. I'm never the smartest guy in this room. So I can just walk in, be me, and know that the smart people are taking care of the details.
Awesome.
That's cool. So let's talk about you graduated in what year from Ball State?
87.
87 with a degree in
Industrial technology.
Oh,
I'm
really?
supposed to be doing robotics and PLCs. This kind of predates PLCs
Sure.
largely, but
Okay, so this explains the tech portion of
somewhat,
your entrepreneurship.
So I
and
get
tech.
that.
Yeah.
I get that. I've written a lot of software over the years, and it's kind of fun. I'll be in a room with a bunch of early 20-somethings, and they use the word model 100 times per sentence, and you think, well, that's pretty intelligent. Just use the model. But in reality, it's a different way of managing an application, and they're not. I can understand the language that they're talking about, but they don't think somebody my age has any clue.
Right.
So just keep saying
They think
model,
they're
model,
talking
model,
Spanish,
and
right?
they think they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
No.
You've got so much stuff going on. You've got what's the project that, is helping build programs to help small businesses in rural communities. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Homegrown apprenticeships.
Yeah.
A business I started back first of the year to leverage my 11 years of knowledge and research around apprenticeships that I used at Apprentice University. It's still going. In fact, I had a couple meetings about it just in the last 2 weeks. The idea is to create organic apprenticeship programs that serve local communities. So think rural community, that needs an apprenticeship program that maps to that community's businesses needs, not out of the alphabet soup downtown or anybody like that. This is led by local businesses, managed by local businesses to serve communities in that, or students in that community, young adults in that community.
Yeah.
So very simple program, but I have the recipe. I know how it works. It's just helping them adopt that process and recipe.
Yeah. Then what was the inspiration to do that?
I got a lot. I had hair before I started apprentice. At least I had a little bit more. It's a hard business to run. It was a small university, but had all the same moving gears as a Purdue or NIU,
Right.
just different sizes. And I don't want that knowledge and lessons and failures and hard knocks to go to waste. And I also have long thought that the apprenticeship model, at least as I've designed it with homegrown apprenticeships, would serve as an economic development tool in rural communities.
Sure.
And they could use it as a way to keep kids home around instead of you go to college, you go to the military, or go get a job. Well, what about this beautiful blend of work and education at the same time that has a sort of a triple net effect of serving the community, keeping the kids around, and helping those businesses all at the same time? So
What's being done today in those communities?
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's really hard.
There's some alphabet soup groups downtown that are trying to do this and exert efforts in other places. And I wish them success, but the reality is there's a lot of red tape that's wrapped into that, and it just needn't be.
Right.
It needn't be full of red tape. The model that we've created is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and really entirely designed that I'll call it the student, the young adult that we're serving, never is out of focus in the lens of the camera. The businesses, the community, the whomever else, the governments, the chambers, what all the seat renters, as I call them, that's all great. But the minute we're not focused on that student is the minute we need to stop. And that's the driver behind it. Not a bunch of reporting and red tape and office of apprenticeship. No, we don't need all that stuff. Let's keep it simple. We're serving a kid.
Because I mean, just recently, I think, and I still haven't quite figured out the genesis of it, but the state of Indiana decided on their own to change high school diploma requirements and started to roll that out. And now all of a sudden, universities come back out and said, whoa. However, part of that, one of the requirements was apprenticeships their junior and senior years.
Sure.
And, I'm in the Boone County Chamber. We talked to our community leaders about it, and they're just like, who is going to hire all of these high school students that have to graduate?
Right.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interns. Where are they going? Right. So now I call that, rule of unintended consequences. Somebody thought it was a great idea here now all of a sudden, right? However, there is a shift. There's a shift of, you're working for a university. People are evaluating that university spend.
Sure, of course.
What they're doing in it and what they're getting for it. So I wonder what your thoughts are kind of in that space.
Yeah.
Because you and I both, I teach at Purdue, you teach at Taylor.
Yeah.
Trying to find that blend of there is value to be had of going to university.
Of course.
For certain things.
Yeah. Well, this came up during my interview at Taylor, as you might imagine. It was kind of an interesting conversation.
Sure.
And I've long said that going to college is for many, just not for as many as we've been sending for many years.
Yeah.
And the reality is, God made us all differently. And thankfully, that's the case. We're not all stamped out of the same exact.
It'd be a boring world if
It'd be a
that was
boring
the
world
case.
if everybody was like me. That'd be horrible. And you guys understand that.
Yes.
Appreciate you agreeing with me there, Adam.
I was agreeing for my own personal reasons.
Sure
Like if there were a bunch of me running around, it'd be a real boring world.
Anyway, so the idea that a young adult stepping off the stage of graduation is facing this freight train called adulthood, and they really don't have many choices to deal with. And to have another option that says maybe you could try out some areas of interest. If you want to be in marketing, let's say, and you really don't know what that means, you just thought it sounded really cool, and you're going to go study that somewhere for 4 years and spend a bunch of time off the grid of earning and pay a lot of money for tuition and hopefully not get your head scrambled politically and socially. let's just go try it for a year or two and try it locally. I'm from Frankfurt,
Yeah.
Metropolis there,
Sure.
live up the street. And I remember growing up as a kid, there was a business, I don't know if it's still there or not, called Beard Industries. And they made grain dryer fans.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
I don't know if they're still there
I
today.
don't think they are.
But I always thought, who would ever want to work there? Well, if you think about it for just a minute, they have engineers, they have technology like crazy, they have marketing, sales. I mean, they have the same operational that you have here at your marketing firm.
Right.
And how many times would I have driven by there as a kid and discounted ever having a job there? So I think about, if you're interested in marketing and you live in Frankfurt, go to Beard, or whoever's there now, go to Beard Industries and say, can I try a marketing role here? And they might be saying, we've had this seat open for 2 years.
Right.
We'd love to have your help.
Or it's too expensive, or it's not the right fit, or whatever.
Yeah. And so now you get a chance to try it. And if that educational journey then leads you into a typical university or traditional university down the road,
Great.
But here's the point. The point is you're doing it with intentionality. Going to a traditional university to find a career is like breaking a fast at a grocery store
Correct.
with a lot of sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
They all look, and everything looks great. So why don't you do it with intentionality? Do it with purpose. Do it with a bit of experience behind your belt instead of just kind of guessing. What am I going to do here?
Yeah, and it also allows, in my view, the student to be curious,
Correct.
Sure.
right? To have honest curiosity about saying, I don't know what I want to do right now, but here's some things I like to do. I like to, build things with my hands. I like to do math. I like to, do X, Y, and Z. Cool. Here's some opportunities for
Absolutely.
you to explore.
Right.
But if you think about this for a minute, an 18-year-old graduating from high school, not just Indiana, but let's pick our backyard. Where would they get the experience of drones?
Right.
At 18? How would you know
Unless
the
they had one
applications for
personally,
drones,
right?
or
Right.
the application for home automation system? They wouldn't have any knowledge of these things without some exposure. How do you get it?
That's true.
So,
I mean, perhaps maybe they went to a STEM school and they did one project with
Exactly.
it, right?
exactly. Or otherwise they hear it, or their buddies are interested in it, or it's just the topic du jour around school. And let's go stay. I mean, do you know how I picked my major at Ball State? My roommate was studying industrial technology. That sounds kind of cool.
Tried
I
it
think I'll
twice,
do
but-
that.
Yeah. I mean, I clearly went to the wrong degree, and
Yeah.
based off, my dad's friend
Yeah.
who, I trusted his advice at the time and thought, he's like, well, what about finance? You can always get a job finance. And I was
Sounds
like,
good.
okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Now, if
I'm
you-
18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I get a degree in corporate finance. I go to my jobs and I absolutely hate
Yeah,
them.
I remember you've told me that story
Yeah.
a few times. Yeah.
I
But
remember.
there was no intentionality.
No.
There-
right? For
Zero
both of
of
us.
us.
No.
Yeah, none.
How about you, Bob?
The
Same
joke
way?
in our high school was, our guidance counselor, her name nameless. I think she's passed away long ago. But I mean, if you were a male, it was Ball State for architecture or Purdue for engineering. And if you're a female, it was Ball State for marketing or IU for anything else. That was the filter.
Right.
I mean, virtually, if I looked at my entire class that went to college, I would say 80% followed that model.
Wow.
That was as much exploratory as there was, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you get there and it's like, this is awful. And quickly figured out that was not for me, especially Kim 116, right? I mean, so it's that same thing. It's like, how do we break that mold a little bit? And I think the stigma of not going to college immediately is starting to soften,
Yes.
mainly because it's probably too expensive anyway,
Yes.
right? And way too expensive. And to your point, the whole idea of spending $200,000 on a whim. What other decision in life would we ever do that?
Yeah.
Right? We just maybe a
Adam's
car.
Maserati was that.
Correct,
but That's another conversation.
It's Honda Odyssey. I got to go pick up. After
Yeah.
this.
There are two.
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I mean, it's always. I remember going to we went to a counselor to pick both pick a college and how to go through the application process.
Right.
And that was her first thing right out of the box. Is like, why are you deciding to go to Marian University?
Right.
It's $65,000 a year,
And there's no offsets.
and they're right. No, I mean, maybe if you're lucky, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, it's like you don't even buy a car at that time. Your car's not that expensive.
Right.
right? I mean, think of the process you go through of buying a house. We looked at 37 houses, right? So you're exploring, you're figuring out what do you like, what do you not. You don't do that, and we don't do that. It's a real shame.
So
So
Yeah.
intentionality is a big deal.
yeah,
I love two words that come to mind as I think about that 18-year-old stepping off that stage, staring at that freight. I have a really cool visual I'll send you sometime. Staring at that stage of staring at the freight train known as adulthood coming at them. Two phrases come to mind. One is the undaunted curiosity. How do you inspire undaunted curiosity in whatever field they might want to explore? And to do that, how do you help open their aperture of imagination?
sure.
So I think about my role at Taylor. That's all I'm doing. I'm talking about those two terms incessantly.
Right.
Open your aperture of imagination so that you can undauntedly be curious, be curiously, undaunted curiosity. That's my goal. That's what I want to
That's
do.
nice.
And I've been doing that at Apprentice, but a year out now, I can kind of unplugging toilets and fixing bathroom floors and broken windows or whatever else, and teaching and
Sure.
now I can
Right.
look out and say, okay, these are the two things that really give me passion.
Well,
Just
when
to
they,
do
I mean, I think that, the fertile ground for, that condition that you're seeking to set for them and encourage is set by feeling supported and seen. And,
Yeah.
right.
And it's okay to do it, right? And there's so much pressure, peer pressure, parent pressure. I mean, we did it. I hate to say it. I did it with my own kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's pieces of that I regret.
Sure.
Right? Because that's where my mom, it's where my wife went. It's where I went. That's where you're going.
Right.
Right. I mean, and there was just all these unsaid pressures, and it's just not really fair. And it doesn't create a good outcome.
I spent last September in Croatia, Slovenia, and Italy. Just needed to get out of Dodge for a while. And I had some opportunities to do some speaking engagements there and so forth. And I'm increasingly adamant that international exposure to travel and
Sure.
intentionality for that just helps widen your mindset.
Sure.
And, the idea of take a year off, go tour Europe, whatever. Yeah, okay, maybe. But doing that with purpose and having that experience to go travel and experience new cultures, get lost, get frustrated, fail, have a little car accident, didn't get hurt, have a little car accident here and there. Those are all part of things that help you grow.
Right.
Sleeping in an airport because you couldn't figure something out, that helps you grow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in our little bubble, we have our little protected cocoon here. You're not going to get that. So I want to help young adults do that. So
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, you've had a passion for that for a long time, even back to, when you first started Bitwise, and a lot of your growth came through helping other people grow.
yeah,
So how did you, I mean, you just were you, but did you recognize that you had that part of you that had the desire to, help other people become better than what they thought maybe they could be?
Adam, I am hopelessly selfish.
Say more.
I am hopelessly selfish. And the adage that when one teaches to learn is me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to learn. I am curious. I want to go to bed smarter every day. I want to learn something new. So I am hopelessly selfish about teaching and mentoring and sharing things I know or things I want to know or things I want to jointly discover.
Yeah. Were you always that way, or did you uncover that at some point?
I think back, I had a TI 99 4A and I figured out.
And only so many people know what that is, by the way.
I figured out.
Were
how
you
to write
figuring out the net present value of something on
I
that
was
thing?
writing a payroll system on
Okay.
that thing and helping run a construction company at 16. And, I've always been curious about how stuff works. And what's interesting is we just got back from a 2-week trip around Lake Huron in our motorhome. In preparation for the trip, I discovered why some of the stuff wasn't working on the rig. And a mouse had decided to set up shop on my gas tank and chew the fuel line to my generator.
Nice.
Well, it took me a month to figure out what was wrong. And it was a really hard problem to solve. It was really, really hard
Sure.
problem to solve. I had to literally
Can't see it. Right?
can't see it, can't to drop the tank. It had, 40 some gallons of gas in it. So it weighs 280 pounds or something horrible.
Right.
But I literally had my problem solving processes on the table, stepping through how might I solve this problem. And when you solve really hard problems like that, you get a bit of bravado. It's like, ooh, bring the next one.
Right.
Sure.
And maybe I'm sick. Okay, don't answer that, guys. You guys are my friends. But to walk, not somebody being hurt or ill.
Yeah, of course.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
But can I have another problem, please? Can someone bring me the next problem?
Right.
And that's exciting. And I know that's kind of maybe weird and geeky to think about, but I think about bring me the next problem. And my buddy Captain Spurgeon at IMPD thinks about that. Here's another case, Ron.
Right.
I bring another problem. I want to work on another problem. I can't do them all alone, and I don't have the hubris to think that I can, but I can spark a team to help get started on it.
Sure.
So I love problem solving, and I'm selfish about it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm horribly selfish.
But you always had that curiosity even from being a kid.
Yeah.
Sounds like
you,
it. What'd your parents think?
You probably got yourself in a lot of trouble, didn't you?
That's what I was thinking.
You had to.
I don't remember.
Infinitely
How many
curious,
more
right?
questions are you going to ask?
Or things that today we would get in trouble for that none of us got in trouble for, but we were infinitely curious and got our butts kicked by life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like to take stuff apart and figure out how it worked.
Did you ever take something apart and not figure out how to put it back together?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure. Of course.
Did that with a mini bike or two.
Yeah, a couple radios here and there. I had a motorcycle that I bought for $20 or something, and I got it running. Wouldn't go very fast, but I got it running, and I was 12.
Right.
I'm gonna get this bike running, and I think my neighbor gave it to me or something. I can't remember, but
keep you busy.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it out.
It's cool.
It's my favorite phrase. Theo and I are buddies.
Yeah.
I love Theo.
That's
You know
cool.
Theo?
No.
Figured it out.
Oh, figured out. Sorry.
Come on, buddy.
Wow. I'm slow. It's Friday afternoon.
FTFO, right?
So what's the rest of the? I mean, so Taylor's a new gig, right?
Taylor's a new gig.
So-
Started technically, contractually started the end of May.
Okay.
But my actual work started a week and a half prior. My first day, my technical first day, I led a workshop for 6 people on campus. So mama didn't raise a fool. Only an idiot would start prepping day of to run a workshop.
Right.
So I needed a week and a half to prep and write the workbook for that. So I ended up starting prior to my actual first day because I didn't want to
Show up unprepared.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, show up and prepare your first day. You're running a workshop.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
I got this. So,
Yeah. I mean, what would you say? Between now and the end of the year, what do you want to have happen? What would be success?
success for me. Thank you for asking.
Slightly different environment, right?
It's a very different environment. For the first time in 30 some years, I don't have P&L to worry about, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
For me, success is a class where I've really instilled curiosity in 20 of my students in my primary class and my second class. I have 2 classes I'm teaching, the second one as well, but the primary classes, they've got curiosity to understand entrepreneurship. That's a high priority. The second one is, Taylor said, here's Taylor's values, here's Taylor's faith. These are the guardrails through which in which you need to stay in here. The rest is up to you. Well, that's a pretty big sandbox.
That's a pretty big box.
They said, it's your sandbox. You do with it, here are the things you got to do, but do with that what you want. So my plan is to create a pitch team and compete intergalactically. I want teams in other, Andromeda, little plants in Andromeda to go, oh my gosh, Taylor's here. We're the best we've got, first loser.
Right.
Now I kind of took that, a little further and said, let's just go ahead and get first loser trophies, take them to all the competitions, hand them out in advance. We want you to go home with something.
Right.
That means we got to win.
Everybody wins a trophy.
But, here's the
You're
thing.
claiming
First
victory,
loser.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Profanity aside, Larry Bird's smack talk was effective.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Come up to you. I'm going to shoot in your face, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. And he would score.
Yeah.
So I want to do that. I want to have that attitude, that bravado, but back it up.
Michael
So,
Jordan did the same thing.
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
absolutely. So my plan is, and I'm going to recruit you guys, so be ready. You're going to
Yeah.
get a call about it here sometime soon. But
Love it.
I want all my team to have really nice blazers, no suit, no ties. We don't do a tie business. Who does that? Really nice blazers, but it's going to look like a NASCAR car. Going to have patches of all my sponsors sewn onto all the jackets.
Nice.
That's how we're going to raise money to go compete in Munich and
Right.
you pick a city, Sydney. We're going to go compete internationally. So, because I literally want people to show up and say, "Great, Taylor's here." Nobody
Right.
told us they were coming.
Yeah.
Now, that's gonna
Simone
take me a
Biles just stepped into the room. Right?
That's right. Exactly.
That's a great
She had a
vision.
great night last night.
It's a great vision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It
That's
is.
my goal. It's going to take some work, and but I'm already recruiting. I've been on campus all summer long and
Sure.
seeing some students that are there and kind of recruiting as best I can. And
So,
we'll see.
I mean, do they have an entrepreneurship ecosystem already, or is that your role to help?
it's there.
Create
It's burgeoning.
Okay.
Mick Bates, the guy to whom I report, is the director for Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We
Okay.
have a brand new building. By the way, it's really cool. You guys will get an invite to
Yeah,
our
let's
open
do it.
house. It's a brand new building, brand new facility. So it's burgeoning. But the philosophy's been everybody there should understand entrepreneurship. No offense to Purdue or any other schools out there, but the idea that everybody should have an entrepreneurship minor. Period.
Oh,
Everyone should have it.
That's the program that I'm in, by the way.
Okay,
So
good,
yeah,
good.
we do that for any major.
We are very simpatico.
We do.
Um,
We're going to trade. Yeah.
So that's the vision. So that's the intent. So it is growing under the new leadership there, President Lindsay and so
Nice.
forth. They really want to focus on entrepreneurship as a core competency that everybody has under their belt.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
no pressure.
Well, I mean, if there's anybody that could take the reins and do that,
Oh yeah.
Oh, thanks,
they
buddy.
hired the right person.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
Remind me when I'm
Wait,
slugging
yeah.
the course
You
trying
need
need
to
a pep talk, give me a call.
bail me out here, man. So I look a little like Gonzo. Remember Gonzo
Uh-huh.
from
The Muppets?
No,
Muppets?
not the
That's-
Muppets.
that's what.
That's where I was going.
there? Why did I go?
That was the best character of the
Trapper John. You remember Trapper,
Trapper John MD. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
so Gonzo lived in the corner of the hospital parking lot in his motorhome. And so I live in the corner of Taylor's campus in my motorhome. I take my RV up there,
Oh,
which
nice.
is another reason I've been investing a lot
Oh
this
yeah.
early part of this summer, just, fixing this, Yeah, there's always something you can do, always something you can improve. But they gave me a RV slot number 5.
Nice.
And so I'm back in the corner. I kind of got a little Wi-Fi, kind of not,
Sometimes, depending on
Sometimes
the.
depends on which way the wind's blowing,
Right.
and
Yep.
squirrels are bouncing around or something. But so I go up there, I drive my RV up, I stay on campus, and I'm not hanging out on the roof drinking martinis like Gonzo did.
Right.
That's not acceptable, a Taylor policy. But it is convenient, and I'm literally underscored bold italics in residence.
Right.
I
Yes.
literally live there.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
kind of
cool.
weird, but I'm good with that.
Yeah.
It's
So
a good
do
solution
you have
till
your
it's
car
cold.
there as well? So you come. I mean,
Just-
do you come home on the weekends or?
I drive my RV.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have my bike on the back, so I bike all over town.
You bike over to Ivanhoe's.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Ivanhoe's and St. Vincent's Cardiology got this thing going on. They've
Just keep
got
feeding it. Just keep feeding
keep
it.
serving ice cream.
Another
Yeah.
Butterburger.
That's right. I'm pretty sure they're very cahoots, but
It's not healthy, but it is a nice treat.
it is a nice treat. And the last 2 times up, I've avoided going there, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm
More
trying
bike
to-
time, less Ivanhoe's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But Upland's all torn up. There's a lot going on. There's a big 1846 campaign going on to revamp Upland. And I don't know all the details of it. There are other people I'm not involved in. I
Sure.
will be soon. I'm part of their plan, but I don't really know what that means yet. But you can't drive through Upland. I mean, not that many people do. It's a
Right.
tiny little town, but it's all ripped up at the moment. It's all going to get new streets and be all
Doing
spruced up
that
here. pretty
downtown
cool.
revitalization kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. A lot
'Cause-
going on.
Yeah, that's good.
So it'd be neat if you could somehow work both of your ventures into that as well.
Well, it's a
Right.
possibility.
Right.
A definite possibility. Yeah. Definite possibility. I mean, I would like to recruit some Taylor students for Team Monocles at some point in time. But those are very succinct job descriptions that I need.
Well, it sounds like Upland might be a good candidate for homegrown apprenticeships as well.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing their in trailers home space, that'd be good.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So aside from all that, what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, what do I like to do? Love to travel.
Okay.
We just, as I mentioned, did our
Yeah.
Lake Huron circle tour. So we've now circle toured 4 lakes.
Nice.
Which ones besides Huron?
Superior, Michigan, and Erie.
Okay.
Nice.
And so we've done those. Had I planned that trip the right way, that I didn't do it, we would have gone up through Toronto and not through Detroit. And we would have seen Lake Ontario on the way up, which meant we've seen all 5 lakes in one trip. But dummy me went the wrong way.
It was too late.
They didn't have Lewis and Clark. So their roads it's just not, you don't go anywhere fast in Southern Ontario.
Sure.
So it's a little frustrating for everybody. So I love to travel. I am expecting a grandchild literally any
Nice.
minute.
Any minute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Phone's
So
about to ring.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Sometime in the next 5 days.
Nice.
So Hudson and Elaine are expecting. That'll be our first grandkid. So that's
Awesome.
going to happen literally any second. So that'll be a game changer.
That's cool.
What else? Love to write. I love to write.
Really?
I do.
What kind of genre?
Well, more just kind of instructional writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know what genre means, Bob. I'm
Well, like
a
westerns
Frankfurt boy.
or
No,
action or
Frankfurt boy, man. You got to keep it simple here. More,
It's education
how
and
to put
action.
together IKEA furniture
Right.
or what?
Well, there's that.
There's
there's that. My favorite meme is that IKEA meme is a box full of pine needles. It says Christmas tree from IKEA.
it's about right. Oh,
The instruction manual, you open it up, it's 1 page, it says don't.
don't
Yeah,
go
Fool.
to store,
Yes, exactly.
buy the whole thing.
sucker box.
Yeah.
I like that. I found a new hobby, just tinkering with my RV, and as geeky
Sure.
as it sounds,
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed problem solving and working on that,
Sure.
I also, it's part of my job at Taylor, but I really am passionate about mentoring young adults. I mean, I got a couple young adults I get a chance to work with from time to time, and I really enjoy that investment in helping them push beyond where their comfort level is. And I really thoroughly enjoy that. A couple of former students from Apprentice University. I just met with one this morning, one earlier this week, and just helping them open their aperture of imagination.
Yeah.
It's just, I already paid for it. That's okay. I'm not looking I wouldn't take money from it if they had it, but that to me is just, that's nirvana.
Yeah, and I mean, even the role you're in, I sit there and think of all the times I never talked to my professors or just anybody. It was heads down, do the work, go do something else, right?
Right.
And that's kind of one of the things I would, you're going to have me come talk to your club, or if you have a class, I'll come talk to it. But I tell my students the same thing. It's like, if you're not asking questions,
Right.
if you're not connecting with someone that comes and talks in class, which Adam's been to my class several times, and you're not connecting and asking them questions, what are you doing?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
I get pretty rough with them the first week on that. And they're kind of like,
Yeah.
but it's like,
Yeah, I mean, to your credit, several of them did reach out, and they actually connected
They
with
do
me
listen.
on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, and a few of them have stayed in contact.
that's correct.
So my second class I'm teaching is called Founders and Fellows. It's a seminar style class. So the intent is to have a speaker probably every week
Nice.
to come in. But the homework is prepare 3 questions to ask. You may not get to ask all of them, but prepare 3 questions to ask, and then prepare a plan that you'll use to follow up with the speaker
Nice.
next week. So have a speaker come in. I think, I don't know what time the class runs. I don't really, it's
You'll find out.
Tuesday or Thursday. But then after the class, have the guests stick around and maybe have a dinner with them or something
Sure.
like that, and get to eat at the dining commons and fine cuisine. Actually, food's pretty good, Taylor.
Yeah.
I've been pretty pleased.
Oh, that's good.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's even better. And I can get there on my bike without a lot of work. So I'm all in.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. Well, Ron, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having me.
As always.
Appreciate it. Good
Yeah.
to see you guys.
We got to have
Guys,
you
good
on
friends.
again. We got
Love to.
plenty more stories to extract from you.
Well, yeah.
Good luck at
Plenty to
Taylor.
share.
We're
Thank
excited
you.
for you.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys. Good
Yep.
to see you.
Yep.